Well, hello, Coffee Time friends. How are y'all doing? Hope you've had a great day today. It's been a good day here. The weather's been a little cooler, but it's mid-November. I guess we're supposed to have cool weather. Mama made chocolate pie a year ago, and we've had several people ask about it. I think what happened is we made it in 2 videos, and we posted them 2 different times. So you get half of it. If you don't get both videos, you don't get all the information. So Mama has graciously decided we will have another chocolate pie. This is also part of our Thanksgiving prep. Now, we won't use this pie for Thanksgiving. It's still a little early for that. But if you want to have chocolate pie for your Thanksgiving, this is a good opportunity for you to learn how to make it. I'm going to read you the recipe right quick. It's called creamy chocolate pie. Mama's creamy chocolate pie is what I call it. It says heat to boiling point 2 cups of milk, and that's
what I'm getting ready right
sweet
here.
milk.
Just 2 cups.
And this, what we call sweet milk, is just what you call regular old milk. No, you can use whole or you can use 2%.
This is 2%.
This is 2%, and Mama's going to heat that 2 cups to boiling point. But we're not through with milk, and I think last time that was a question a lot of y'all had, because there is another cup of milk coming up in a minute. But it's cold. It's not the boiling.
Next, I'm going to get the pie crust in here.
So Mama's going to put this in. She's going to...
And I just bought, this is a store-bought pie crust. I didn't go with trying to make it. It's so late. So, all I'm doing is punching little holes in it so it won't bubble up. That's it.
Called docking the pie crust. This is a deep dish pie crust because we're making a double batch, and it says in the recipe to put this in 2 pie shells, but we're going to put it in 1 because we're doing a deep one. So she's going to put that in the Easy Bake, aka the KitchenAid, and I'm going to read you the rest of this. So it says heat to boiling point 2 cups of milk. So you don't want it to quite boil. You want it to what they call scorch, is it, Mama?
Hardly.
It's just when it's ready to boil. Okay, and then it says combine 5 tablespoons of cocoa, 1.5 cups of sugar, or you can use sugar substitute like stevia.
Here, I'm going to get that.
Let me read all of it, and then I'll do it separate, and that way we can. Okay. So 5 tablespoons of cocoa, 5 tablespoons of cornstarch, stir in 4 well-beaten egg yolks only, and 1 cup of cold milk. Now you have another cup of milk coming. It says, when smooth, add gradually to the milk, which has just come to a boiling point. Stir and cook until thickened about 1 minute. Remove from heat, add 1 teaspoon of vanilla and 3 tablespoons of butter. Pour into 2 baking pie shells 9-inch. Top with meringue made from the 4 egg whites that you saved from the other, and 8 tablespoons of sugar, and then you just brown your meringue. So Mama, take it away and show us how to make this delicious, creamy chocolate pie.
Well, I do it naturally a little different as always. I put my 2 cups of milk in the other kettle to boil. And it calls for how much? 5 tablespoons of cocoa.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm putting in 5. I think this saves me time.
You want a level? Or?
I'll just use this fork I use the end of. It's 2, 3, 4,
3,
5.
2,
Don't you try to mess me up here.
4, 5.
He's going to get a whipping right off the very beginning.
5 tablespoons of cornstarch.
And I've already measured out the 5 tablespoons of cornstarch that's going in here.
And this is just plain old cornstarch.
Then I'm going to...
So in here right now, she's got 5 tablespoons of cocoa, 5 tablespoons of cornstarch, and she's going to mix it together.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just...
I've got the cocoa powder up in my throat.
And this is just dry. Nothing else is in there, no liquid.
Okay, and then I'm gonna do my 4 eggs. Set the, that's a 1/2 cup out. I'm good with that. Could you hand me
Yes,
my
ma'am.
eggs, please, up here?
You're gonna have some more. You got the egg separator?
No, I'm just. If you'll hand me that kettle, I'll do it. I'll do it, I mean.
Now that's the way you separate an egg, one way. Mama, you're out of the view.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. You just toss it back and forth, and you're going to put your yolks here, and she's going to put her whites over here. So that's 1 egg. You want to go ahead and do every time you do one, in case you run into a bad egg somewhere, you won't lose all your whites.
Or all of it, you know.
So watch her go back and forth with that yolk, and the white will separate itself out. This is the old-fashioned way.
Get talking and
Now we do have a
splatterproof shell to go for you.
we do have an egg separator, but we're doing the old-fashioned way tonight.
This is the way I was taught when I was a little girl.
Back and forth, back and forth.
We didn't have all them fancy gadgets.
You didn't sell Tupperware then, did you, Mama?
I didn't sell Tupperware and didn't have Tupperware and didn't have all that stuff when I was little.
Now the eggs can be at room temperature
They need to be to whip.
to whip. So by the time these have come out of the refrigerator, Mama put them out about 15 minutes ago. So they're still a little cold, but they will.
Uh-oh. Now I did it.
Now you've done it. Now you need that fancy stuff.
I know it. You have to have stuff happens and it's life and you just got to go along with
Well, you
it.
ain't getting the fancy stuff. You're getting a slotted spoon.
Well, we didn't have sliced spoons.
You didn't have slotted spoons.
Probably not. I don't remember. We had bare necessities.
Could you not get a spoon with a hole in it?
I don't know if we had them or not.
You got some on this side, Mama. I probably use that for all of it.
So that was the quick and easy way. I got that done.
Now these will warm up to room temperature, and they'll make good meringue.
And I'll show you why I don't do it like they say. I put this in here and I mix my eggs with my cocoa and cornstarch and go like this. And in the sugar, it calls for 1.5 cups of sugar, I think.
Go to the book here. 1.5 cups of sugar. This says stir in 4 well-beaten eggs yolks, it says.
It will be beaten when I...
So you don't do that. You omit that step, don't you, Mama?
I told you I'll do it. That's the one.
1. And there's the hive.
Make sure it's a hive. I had several.
That's a hive.
I didn't know my sugar was hardly that low. And that's the hive. Now what's the next step?
Well, Mama, it says 1 cup of cold milk. You ready for that now?
Mm-hmm. I've got two.
Now here is the.
This is the milk. You can see.
Here's the consistency.
This milk is starting to boil a little. If you want to stir on that a minute, it would help.
On this.
This.
Do you need it fine?
I need it thin when I pour that other milk in it. This one didn't have some holes punched deep enough on one side, and my pie crust was kind of raising up.
Oh, you mean the docking part?
Yeah.
I'll use this whisk here.
Here is your cold milk, sir.
So I've just got a whisk out here, and I'm just going to whisk this egg yolk, basically, because that's the only wet in here. I'm just going to blend it in with the Hershey's cocoa and the cornstarch and the sugar.
And I'm going to give you some milk. We're getting it blended good.
You add it in slowly.
Yeah, you don't want it all clumpy, lumpy.
So this whisk is working well to get it all combined here. Well, we probably could run this through the chopper.
Oh, I didn't think I was so busy getting this stuff ready, but
You're doing it all the old-fashioned way.
it don't hurt.
Tilt you down where you can see a little better. So I'm going to add a little bit more milk. Get all that emulsified together. This is the pie filling, so you want it to be good and silky smooth. You don't want any lumps or dry anything.
Now this is, that other way may be better, but this is the way I've learned to make it, keep it from lumping and then chunks of stuff in it and it's not mixed up good.
You have the rest if you want to, Mama.
Yeah, I think we can use it.
Now this will make 2 pies in a regular pie crust and 9-inch pies. But we're using a deep dish and we're going to put all this in one crust and have a big, much thicker pie. And it will be delicious. And we'll get all this on one video so you can see from start to finish tonight. The other one was confusing, and I've had questions. People have seen it, and they're like, I didn't see Mama finish the pie. And I'm like, well, you got to go to the next video. I think that, in fact, I guess that's when before we could merge videos together.
Yeah, and we didn't pause them right.
I think that was back when we were first learning how to use.
Okay, right here is the pie crust. It's just a little golden brown. It's yet soft. And I just broke the crust off of that big bit. But it's all right.
This ain't going nowhere. This ain't for no show.
Okay, we've got it mixed up now, Johnny. Tell me.
Is that good?
Yes, sir. You did a
Give it a
wonderful.
give it a churn there, Mama.
Okay.
So now what am I telling you, Mom?
We've got the cold milk, and we're supposed to merge.
Okay, it says when smooth, add gradually I guess we put the milk in there and it's saying add that to the milk. But it says add gradually to the milk, which has just come to a boiling point. Mm-hmm. So now you're gonna pour this into the hot.
I'm gonna pour the hot into it
Okay.
because I did it backwards. I put my milk in the.
Now see how the milk has just got that little skim over it?
It's just starting to boil.
And it's just starting to boil. You don't want it to boil. You just want it to, I think the word's scorch. Mm-hmm. You don't want it to scorch like scorching something bad though. Or scald. I don't know what you call it. Scald it maybe. Don't pay attention to the words I'm saying, just the process. So.
I put my milk in the little one and so it works just the same.
So she's just pouring that into that smooth mixture we already had. Look at that fancy crossover action. You're good, Mama.
And now I'm going to the stove to cook.
And then you boil it for 1 minute. So let's go follow her to that stove. Okay, Mom.
Okay.
So you're going to start the timing?
Well, it's not boiling.
You have to wait till it boils before you start timing?
Don't it say cook it? It's yet cold yet a little bit.
It said,
And I've got the little burner on.
you know, Mama, I'll have to read the recipe.
Yeah.
I have to go back to the rules because I don't know if it said.
Boil or cook?
I got you propped up there, Mama. Don't drop them in.
I won't touch it.
Okay. It says cook until thickened about 1 minute.
Oh, I know it was cooked.
Remove from the heat and add a teaspoon of vanilla.
If you'll move that pan off that pad, I'll have it to sit it on when I come up with that. I can already smell the chocolate.
Sounds good from over here. I'll put this kettle here in the sink with that milk.
Uh-oh. It's good exercise for your wrist.
Right. And this says 3 tablespoons of butter.
I've got my butter out there and a teaspoon of vanilla. I've got it out there. So we're ready to get started when this
When it
thickens up.
thickens.
If you poured it in there now, you wouldn't have pie. You'd have chocolate sauce, I guess.
Yeah, you want it to be good and thick, so it'll be good and creamy.
And cut it. It's a starting to steam.
Reminds me of when you make homemade cocoa.
Yeah, that's what it looks like right now.
You want to stir because you get that sugar in there, and it will stick. And it will scorch in a bad way. I know.
Milk scorches really bad.
Yeah. I don't know. Somebody will tell us, but I'll have to look it up afterwards and see. What do you call it when you let it not get to boiling, but you let it just
I think
about boil?
scalding.
Scalding?
Scalding milk, I believe. That comes to mind. I don't know the correct words probably.
We just say just about boiling, don't we, Mama? Is your stove up high enough so your burner will stay on?
Yeah, it's just because it ain't none on that spot.
Okay.
It's high. You can't get it much higher. I mean, you don't want it much higher because you don't want it to stick. You don't want scorched cocoa.
No. We don't mess the pie up.
No, we don't want to do that.
Now, how thick will that get, Mom?
Well, when it starts boiling, it'll activate that cornstarch.
Okay.
And when it does that,
You'll stir and you'll feel it.
it starts getting thick, and you can tell it getting thicker as it goes. So that's all we have to do is just let
Let it boil.
it keep boiling good.
Well, you're doing a good job, Mama.
Oh, I thank you. I'm just standing here.
It looks good. I can't wait to taste it.
Orgy Daddy loved chocolate pie. Well, any pie. He wasn't crazy about butterscotch, but he loved chocolate and lemon the best. I don't cook near as much as I used to when he was here.
Because he had a lot of suggestions.
Yeah. Or request, we'll say. Is it time we had a chocolate pie? Is it time that we could get a lemon pie around here?
I know I ain't seen as many pies.
No.
Hey, Mama.
Oh, no. What?
While we're stirring, I'll go ahead and tell you a joke.
Well, now, don't make it hard, because I've got to really concentrate on this.
Here, let me tell that so we can see you, so we can see your face.
Oh, no.
We like to watch you.
I don't like my face when I'm missing.
You may not miss this one.
Oh.
Mama, what is the favorite part of a computer for an astronaut?
What's the favorite computer for the astronauts?
Mm-hmm. Have a laptop, computer, whatever.
The screen, the keypad, screen and keypad. What is it? Try.
You can't think and stir.
Mom, I couldn't. I had to quit stirring. I hadn't thought about it. There's Ram and Ron and.
Oh, you're going old school, Mama.
Well, that's when I went to computer classes, really in the old school to try to catch up at work.
The favorite part of a computer for an astronaut would be the
takeoff.
the takeoff. This is starting to bull. Think about it, Mama. I'll let you think about it for a second.
I don't know.
There's only one thing that really stands out.
Because you know the answer.
Because I know the answer.
There's the screen.
Oh, it's thickening.
Pause button.
You're getting close. It's thick, Mama.
It's,
We'll get this answer as soon as we get back. Hold on just a
I
second.
name off everything they are.
Press forward. What's that, Mama?
I mean, delete, start.
Now this is a half a teaspoon. So it's, I'm going to pour this thing here for Mama. Half a teaspoon of vanilla and another half a teaspoon of vanilla.
Yeah, I get out the teaspoon.
And another half teaspoon of vanilla makes 1 whole teaspoon.
That's my fault. I got out the wrong spoon.
And then the butter. What's the forward button? Is that what you were saying, Mama?
You know,
So what is the favorite part of a computer for an astronaut? Look how creamy and thick this is. It's like pudding.
I'm going to say the, I don't know. You can go home button.
You can go home the home button. Cut off your butter. You need 4 tablespoons. Mama, the favorite part of a computer for an astronaut is the space button, the space bar.
Space bar. Oh, I never even thought of that.
You was so close.
I went to everything but space.
I said there's only one that really would work. The space bar.
I told you I couldn't stir them.
That was a disadvantage. We'll give it to you in
That's
one
4. No, I missed it totally. That's 4 tablespoons of butter.
4 tablespoons of butter. Don't matter if this is room temperature or not, even cold butter, it'll melt right in there. In fact,
It helps. Well, you have to put it back in the oven.
you're going to put it back in the oven anyway, so it won't matter.
Okay.
And this will, when that butter does melt, we'll be ready to pour it up into the shell.
Yeah. And I'm going to have to get my turbo mixer. And you ain't going to like that.
That turbo mixer, Lord, it takes plumb off. It takes plumb off, Mama.
Hey, can't.
Everybody always, every time you use it, they say, is Mama's mixer? I ain't never seen a mixer that fast. Okay, butter's melted. You ready to pour into the shell?
Yeah, you can pour it into the shell.
You're already over there on the meringue.
I have to be on the meringue.
Hand it over here and I'll pick up
Yes.
the chocolate.
Pour that right in there.
Mama, this ain't gonna fit.
Well, you know why I do that. Fill it up full, and if there's any left, I'll get me a bowl. And you know, when I'd have chocolate pudding when you and Daddy was gone.
So you've been doing this for years. Well, Mama, that seems full. Time to put a little meringue
He'll
on.
dry. He'll cool down and shrink down some.
Well, how much can we leave you?
I'll put the rest of it. You'll see why I'm using just one pie shell. Set that down and I'll pick it up.
There's you some extra, Mama. Here's
Yeah.
even a spatula.
Well, good. I can.
So we need to smooth that out, or will that take care of itself?
Oh, it'll cover it.
You're gonna put meringue on anyway. It won't matter.
Yeah.
So there it is, folks. There's the pie. I don't know how much y'all see. Let's pour it in there. I didn't move the camera.
See how good.
So there's the pie. The crust has been pre-baked, and you don't have to use a shield or anything on this because it won't be in there that long because this is basically baked. Why are we baking it?
You're not re-baking it. All you're simply doing is gonna put it back in there to heat the meringue.
Oh, so this will stay here. You don't bake this.
You bake that. You put that in the oven, but you put your meringue on top.
Oh, but you do. What I'm saying, we don't bake it, then add the meringue. That's done.
This is it.
Oh, okay. So, that's that. Mama,
Here's your reminder.
you're getting a reminder.
Wildfires.
I thanked her this morning,
A reminder to water your flowers.
and she thanked me back.
Did she?
Here's your reminder.
Thank
Wildfires.
Alexis. Thank you.
You've hurt her feelings now, Mom. So in this here is just the egg whites, and they have warmed up some. You reckon we need to warm them up some?
Oh, I'll have one in just a second.
Now this is the meringue that goes on the top. And this is Mama's turbo mixer. It's a Sunbeam. We've got one on the Amazon link that's similar to it, but this one is old. And
Can you plug me up there, please?
this one is old, and Mama has had it forever. She's got a stand mixer, and she's got another handheld mixer. Mama, I don't know why that's not going in there. It won't go in that plug. I want to unplug the light. If it looks like we got dark, we did. It's got a big side and a little side. And our light's come undone. Let's see if we can get back into operation here. This is live and in person. There you go.
Okay, and right now,
Now, what's this thing take off like a 747? And this is the same way Mama drives. It's just like she uses this mixer.
it's fun. Here we go.
Sorry for the noise.
5 tablespoons. How much sugar?
3 tablespoons of butter, 8 tablespoons. Eight tablespoons?
That's a lot.
How much is that?
5 4
5.
Here we go. I'm sorry for it.
Are you going turbo? Okay.
Let's see if it's ready. See how it's peeking up, Stan?
Is that a stiff peak?
All it's gonna do, because we can't stand no more roaring. I made a mess, didn't I?
Mama, move the pie over here.
I'm gonna try to. It's kinda on the warm side, wibbly wobbly. It does like me. I wibbly wobbly when I'm.
Now this is meringue, and she put 8 tablespoons of sugar in there. And that's the only thing she put was egg whites and 8 tablespoons of sugar. And now you just pour it over your
I
pie.
need one of your spatulas. So
I just had that spatula.
I put it over there in the sink, though.
Well, you hadn't used it.
Well, I thought I had.
You didn't use it, Mama.
Oh, no. An extra thing to wash just because I made a mistake.
Now, they call it, have you ever heard of mile high meringue? That's when you've done a good job and you got your stiff peaks and it's all nice and fluffy. And Mama's,
And I'm no pie maker.
well, what's wrong with your pie making skills, Mama? And you just kind of do that right there and you get that little waviness, and then every one of them little wavies will brown. And don't that look delicious? And now, there's the important part, ladies and gentlemen. This is basically a big old marshmallow. And when you put that in your oven, don't walk away, don't get distracted, don't do nothing except watch that meringue. Now, Mama's going to stand right over there and watch that meringue because she's over there at the Easy Bake. If you don't, it'll brown in a second and it'll burn in 2 seconds. So you don't want to leave your meringue. You want to keep it. You want to keep an eye on it because if you don't, it'll brown. You just want it barely brown. You're still going to have some white, and you're going to have that little bit of brown across some peaks to make that beautiful pie. And so you don't want to just walk away from it. You want to make sure that you stay there and watch it so you can make sure you don't let it burn. Because it'll happen in a second. You can put it in your oven and put it on broil, and it'll brown up real quick, won't it, Mama?
Mm-hmm. Unplug that mixer, please, and I'll take these off.
All right. Oh, yeah, I'll gladly unplug that thing. Mama, her mixer is... I remember even when I was young. I mean, I probably wasn't a kid when you had that one. But you probably had that in 15 years.
Oh, Lord, a lot longer than that.
A lot longer than that, she said. Anyway, it's a wild thing. I'm going to show it to you here. It's a sunbeam, but it's got those whisk attachments. It's just a little old bitty thing. She loves it. I bought her a KitchenAid handheld.
And a KitchenAid
An orange
stand.
one. She's got a pretty orange KitchenAid.
And a stand.
And she's got a stand mixer here. She won't use it either.
I got a stand mixer and a KitchenAid stand mixer.
And the turbo
My turbo
sunbeam that she uses always. Mama don't like change. This one works. And her thing she'll say is, I'll do that one some other time. I'm just gonna get this when I know how to do it. Don't you, Mama?
Yeah, old person, I guess, set in my ways.
Socked in your ways.
I'm socked in my ways.
Ain't that what they used to say was socked in your ways?
Uh-huh.
Now, Mama, you ain't watching your meringue. I told them you'd watch it.
I'm watching it.
Mama won't be watching it. She'll get distracted. And I'll tell her, don't walk away from the stove.
Mommy, you pie.
Don't walk away from that stove, Mama. Mama, don't walk away from that stove. And she'll say, I didn't. I'll say, well, what are you doing in here?
Oh.
Well, I'm going right back in there, she'll say. It'll take probably a few minutes, but when it does brown, it browns quickly. A lot of y'all made pies, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, I'm going to read this recipe to y'all one more time. And this comes out of Mama's recipe book. This is Mama's recipe book. And everybody's wanting us to write a book.
No.
If we ever write a book, I would love for it just to be just about like this one. And I'd like to have some handwritten recipes in it and some information. But we're still selling the church cookbook, and we are happy and proud to do that. And we're not even in the process yet. So someday, see, like right here is a pumpkin pie recipe. Now that's made a bunch of pumpkin pies, and we'll probably make one next week. Mama will, maybe. hold me to that, but we'll probably have some pumpkin pie in our near future. And that's just a handwritten recipe.
I got some people's names on them. It gave them to me.
Here's chocolate chess pie. That would be good. Strawberries parfait pie. Peanut butter cream pie. Now, I've been wanting to make a peanut butter pie for a while. We may venture into this one.
We've got chocolate to eat now. So.
Yeah, we won't be doing it soon. I'm going to read this recipe one more time. So if you're wanting to write it down, I'll read it so you can write it. It's called, and I would just show you the thing of it, but it's written and it's hard to pick up on. It's creamy chocolate pie. Mama's creamy chocolate pie. And it's, Mama, you're not watching again. You're cleaning.
I'll put turbo up. So
Yeah, get over and watch that pie. Creamy chocolate pie. Heat to a boiling point, 2 cups of milk. We've called it different things tonight, but we really don't know. So just heat it to a boiling point, but don't let it boil. Combine in a separate bowl 5 tablespoons of cocoa, 5 tablespoons of cornstarch, and 1.5 cups of sugar. Stir in 4 well-beaten egg yolks. And that's what Mama did, but she didn't beat them first. 1 cup of cold milk. So last time she made this, some of y'all had a question. Was it hot milk or cold milk? It's both. 2 cups of almost boiling and 1 cup of cold. When smooth, add in gradually to the milk, which has just come to a boiling point. Stir and cook until thickened, about 1 minute. Now, it took us about 5 minutes to get to thick because you put that cold milk in there. But it'll happen instantly almost. You'll feel it. And you'll know it's thickening up. And then you cook it for about 1 minute after it starts thickening there. Remove from the heat and add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So once you take it off the heat, it's good and thick. You measure out 1 teaspoon. Now I put 2 half teaspoons in to equal 1 teaspoon. So don't get confused. It wasn't 2 teaspoons, it was 2 halves.
That's my fault. I got out the wrong spoon.
And 3 tablespoons of butter. And then once that melts in there and gets all in there good, then you can pour it into your 9-inch pie shells, 2 of them, or 1 deep dish, as you've seen we did. And then you top it with meringue. You use the 4 egg whites that was in the bowl from the yolks. And then it says here, add 8 tablespoons of sugar, and then top the pie until it browns. And that's
Most
what
recipes says add like a 1/4 cup of sugar.
Mama says most meringues says add 1/4 cup of sugar. This said 8 tablespoons. So that's what we did. So that's the recipe. And Mama, how far are we away from brown?
It's a getting there.
It's
you
a getting
don't want
there.
It too brown, so.
Don't want it too brown. You don't want it to get. You want it to be just right. And any Southern lady, or I don't know. I guess Jens make these everywhere. I just have always lived in the South, but you don't ever see one burnt at a church picnic or nothing. They just won't bring them. They just won't bring them. So you watch that. You stay right on top of it. Unless your mama, her attention span, like I told you the other day, I had her in there setting her clock. And I said, Mama, here, let me show you how to set this clock.
Right here.
And she didn't even last 3 seconds, just in run it off. Now this would be considered a perfect.
I couldn't find my lifter thing, but there it is.
This is considered a perfectly browned meringue. I'm gonna get you real
Browner on one side.
real close. I'm gonna get you real close without droppings. And that is a perfectly browned meringue on top of that chocolate pie. Now, I will say this. Everything in me wants to go ahead and cut this and show you what it looks like. But it is too hot. And if we cut it, it won't be good. It smells so good. But if we cut it, it would run all over the place. But trust me, it is good. And it's perfectly browned. And see how all them little waves she put in there just makes it into a beautiful little design. What do you
Just
think,
when
Mama?
you're pretty, turned out good. Make sure when you get through whipping it that you take your beaters and see if it will peak up. And then when you put it on your pie, you just simply lay your spatula or spread or whatever you're using and make these uneven peaks and stuff on it. And it makes it
Now,
pretty.
what she was talking about, take your beaters, is when you have it in the bowl, just lift your beaters up and
Turn them off.
turn them off. And as you lift them up, it should cause those stiff peaks to stay. And if they'll stay, it's called a stiff peak and it's ready to go.
Yeah.
Mama, that's a beautiful pie. We could take that to the fair.
We're going to take it and you can't cut it and eat it.
There ain't no fair. She ain't fooling me.
He said he would have died if you'd have told him you couldn't cut a pie you fixed for him.
So this took about, 5 minutes to brown?
Yeah, probably that. I didn't.
But now that don't mean yours will. Yours may brown in 2 minutes, or yours may brown in
Just
6
keep
minutes.
an eye on it, as he said.
Keep an eye on it.
I look short in here, like I ain't much taller than the cabinet.
Well, Mama, you look just like you always do.
Oh, I didn't realize I looked that short.
Come on over here, Mama, so they can see you.
Yeah, I guess that's right.
You're as tall as I am when I'm sitting down. So there it is, folks. Mama's chocolate pie, and we got it all in one video this time. See how it's a little jiggly when I move it there?
Oh, quit.
You want to let it set up. So we're going to let this set. It'll need to set a couple of hours.
It needs to cool. When it cools, as it cools, it'll get stiffer.
Mm-hmm. So it really needs to set a couple of hours, or maybe put it in the refrigerator. But it's going to be so good. I like to cut them when they're just warm. Still warm, but
Yeah,
firm.
you and your daddy cut them when they're warm, hot.
I would cut it right now. I'd eat it with a spoon. I ain't going to lie.
That's what he would say.
But I'm going to wait.
And he would say, well, why'd you fix it if you didn't want me to eat it?
And one thing about it, if when that pie does cool down, there's be a reason for me to have another cup of coffee.
And it's getting late.
It's not that late, Mama. The time change makes it seem like. How y'all dealing with this time change? Do you like it or you don't like it? It's dark at 5:30 here.
It's awful.
Pretty much. I mean, it's not pitch dark, but it's pretty dark at 5:30.
Yeah. I don't like this.
I deal with it all right. I ain't too picky. I mean, it's a season. I like it. I like winter nights.
I like going to bed early. I just don't like getting up early.
Winter nights is a good night for board games or playing Phase 10 or something like that. Kids are indoors. Everybody's indoors. So gather around the table and play something. Get a board game out or play Old Maid or Rummy or something just
I can
for
remember
fun.
when we was little, we'd sit up around the fireplace as close as we could get because that's what heat we had. And Daddy and Mommy and all of us would play bingo. That's the only
bingo.
game we
Bingo.
had.
We've got some bingo cards, Mom, but it's hard to play with 2 people.
That's what we played with. And
You had a whole house full. You used to play bingo.
yeah, and we didn't have the buttons to go on it because kid like we lost them all. And Daddy'd always shelled corn for his chickens, and we'd use corn grains
Oh,
on our bingo
for your
cards.
things.
On our cards, yeah.
Well, that's cute.
See, that's good memories to have.
It is good memories. Corn on the bingo. So what'd you holler when you got it?
Bingo, that's what it was playing.
Popcorn or something.
No,
We didn't do Southern Sunday luncheon yesterday. We
didn't have it.
we didn't have it. We were doing some church stuff, and we was out the church, and we actually had our lunch out there. We made some vegetable soup and took that pimento cheese and had pimento
No, I
cheese.
made fresh pimento cheese. It
She
wasn't
made
the same.
fresh pimento cheese, but we had pimento cheese and sandwiches, and I made some vegetable soup, and just I'll make some for y'all sometime, and we'll have it. But I made this early yesterday morning, so
I killed this.
it was just basically all the vegetables and tomato juice and a little bit of seasoning. But we'll make vegetable soup sometime before long. It's that time of year for soup and chili and all things great and chocolate pie. And now that we've had chocolate pie, it almost seems unfair not to have a lemon, maybe a cherry.
Cherries are harder to fix.
Harder to do.
Mm.
We might could do some
They
fried
do.
cherry pies.
Fried might be all right.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to do all the fancy crust work on cherries for them to look right.
You mean like a lattice?
Mm-hmm. I ain't a lattice person.
You can't put meringue on cherries?
I wouldn't think it would.
I ain't never seen it.
I ain't never seen it, no.
But it would be good. Folks, that's all we got. Mama, you got anything else?
I would just like to say our cookbooks has come in.
The cookbooks came in early. We was expecting the first week of December, and they came in early. So Mama started on them.
Thursday evening, late.
Yeah, Mama started on them. So if you've ordered,
They'll be coming.
She's getting them out. How many did you take yesterday?
Friday and Saturday.
Saturday.
I took 106 cookbooks.
So if you've ordered, they'll be there quicker.
I'm getting them as soon as I can.
And we have more. We ordered a double shipment because it was harder to get them. So we went ahead and ordered a double shipment this time so we would have some if y'all want them for.
And I work on them every day. And I have to say, I didn't go to the post office. There's other stuff come up. But I've got some ready to take in the morning. Mm-hmm. And we'll be taking some more tomorrow and as we go along. And hopefully get them called up and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to thank everybody for all their gifts. We've got coffee and...
Yes, you all have been so gracious, and we don't expect a thing, folks. We really don't. Just you all watching us and commenting us is wonderful, but some of y'all have sent some beautiful gifts, and we will go through those and have them on one day.
Try our best to, but we've
at least
not
show you
forgotten.
some of the things. We've not forgot you, and we do appreciate each and everything you send, and the cards and the letters and the encouraging words. And it's just been so gracious.
Tim from Georgia sent me a book.
Mm-hmm. And Maggie got a sweater.
Oh yeah, it's been a little warm on her.
Yeah, it's still warm, but she'll need it January and February. But Maggie got a sweater. We'll show it to you. A homemade sweater. So.
It's cute.
It is.
Crocheted. It's very cute.
It's very cute.
Only thing with Maggie, when you put a sweater on her and she goes out, she's still a little chilly when she comes in, and she don't want it off right then. Then she gets too hot laying in here in the house, so we've got to kind of watch her.
You got to watch her. She's picky. she's spoiled a lot.
And if I scold her through the day, she tells on me as soon as he comes in the door the evenings and stuff.
She really does. If Mama's been mean to her...
Not mean to her, scolds her.
That ain't what she says, Mama.
Oh, yeah, you understand.
She meets me at the door when I come over, and she acts different, and I can tell. And I'll say, if you've been mean to her, Mama, I had to get on to her. She did something. Well, she's telling me. If she's not been mean to her, then she'll just come to the door and bark a few times. And she's glad to see me, and but if Mama's been mean to her, she yodels.
She don't yell, she cries. She tells on
And I call it telling on her, because it sounds different. And Mama said,
oh yeah, there's a big difference.
Mama said, I had to get on to her, she ran out in front of the mailman. Or I had to get on to her, she was up at the neighbor's house.
She goes up to the neighbors and hides behind their lamppost. Then she'll come down here and she stops and hides behind our lamppost.
And she ain't supposed to be in the road at all, but she has to get in the road to get to the neighbors. And she does it because she's
And she
spoiled.
knows she's in trouble.
Well, sometimes the UPS man goes to the neighbor's house and she just don't understand why he would go to their house and not come here and bring her milk bone.
And she runs up there and gets her milk bones if she can.
If she could. I've had to start buying. She used to only would eat pepperonis, and she still will eat plenty of them. Like by shitty as man, she just held her. But I've had to start buying her milk bones because the UPS man has got her used to them, and he brings them to her.
And the mailman man, he gives her treats if she's out.
He gives her milk bones, so now she expects a milk bone. She's a mess.
Beyond spoiled, is what it is.
The Santa boards from the Etsy store, she wrote me, and they are gone. Unless she gets some back, if she can get some caught up or whatever. But y'all did so good buying those, and we appreciate that. But she did let me know today that they were out, and if they can get some back in, then the shipping time would be the issue with that if it's much longer. So thank you all. We appreciate it. Thank you for all Mama's Tupperware support. Mama loves her Tupperware. She's either doing cookbooks or Tupperware about every day.
Every day.
But you love it.
Yeah, you stay busy, that's for sure.
You want to stay busy, don't you?
Well, I want to stay a little active.
We appreciate y'all. We really do. And y'all mean so much to us. And we do thank y'all as family. And we just love having you here in the kitchen with us. And we're going to say good night now. We've done our 4 goodbyes for our Southern goodbyes. So we're going to say, find you something good to eat. Find you something fun to do. Make some memories with your family.
Sure.
And if you get a chance, make a chocolate pie. And you might want to save this.
It looks better than mine, maybe, if you work on it.
Oh, yours looks good. You might want to make this for Thanksgiving. So we said we was going to make some stuff for Thanksgiving. So hopefully, now Thanksgiving's just a week from this Thursday. Hopefully in the next week we can make a few more things that you all might want to do for Thanksgiving. One thing we'll probably work on next week is some sourdough salad. And I know y'all like that because you're always asking for that recipe of that orange gelatin. It's the sourdough salad. So we'll try to make a little sourdough salad to
You're just wanting sourdough salad.
Maybe I am, Mama, but tis the season, as they say.
His granny always made him sourdough salad for his birthday and every holiday. That
and
was her
anytime I
favorite.
say, Granny, how about some sourdough salad?
Well, you'll say, I ain't seen a sourdough salad around here in ever. Next day, he would have his sourdough salad. Mikey is not the only one that's full.
And Mama is too. Mama's spoiled. Yes, Mama's spoiled. All right, folks, we said 5 goodbyes. Now we're going to go.
I've not said one yet. You've been saying.
We're done talking now. Say good night, Mama.
Good night, Mama. God bless you all. Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all.